I'm going to be honest here. Stephanie White does not trust Caitlin Clark to end games. She does not trust Caitlin Clark to be on the floor to end games. Um, Again, we saw it. And by the way, to say that people are saying, "Oh, she's not an option at all." No, she was an option for the game winner. She was the third option. They would have rather got the ball in Kelsey's hands, and they would have rather got the ball in Leah Boston's hands, and that's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. But the fact is that, do you want to know what the worst defensive lineup is for the Fever? Is the quote unquote defensive lineup? Like, Caitlin Clark is a part of nearly all of the Fever's best defensive lineups. And you saw this here, obviously. Look, I don't even really care that much about this play. Caitlin Clark called the play, by the way. Caitlin Clark, who had hit at that point 11 of 11 from the free throw line, literally, they called a reset, and Caitlin just goes, same again. They run the same again. They go in double, and look, if Kelsey Mitchell just catches the ball, if she just catches the ball, this isn't as much of a disaster. But it's this point here where I'm like, there's 5.1 seconds to go. If you guys don't know, in the two previous possessions, Caitlin Clark had been taken off for defensive reasons. The Indiana Fever had conceded 4 points because they fell twice. And immediately, Caitlin Clark gets subbed off, and she's clearly pissed. And people are like, "Oh, she's pissed because the ball went to Kelsey Mitchell." I don't think she is. I think she's pissed that she's being pulled for defense. And if you guys don't know, do you want to know what happened? Do you want to know what happened in overtime? So in overtime, they decided to, not put not sub Caitlin Clark off, not put Raven Johnson on, not put a cold Raven Johnson on for the sake of it. And then what goes and happens after they don't put a cold Raven Johnson on? They gotta stop. They gotta stop. The Indiana Fever putting on a cold Raven Johnson for Caitlin Clark. I'm not joking. I think they give up 2 points of possession. Minimum. I don't remember the Indiana Fever ever, and people are pointed out, they're like, the Indiana Fever are so bad in the possessions where Caitlin Clark is being subbed off for defense. And it's been the case for the last year that they are legitimately horrendous in those possessions. Like, Caitlin Clark, obviously, is not the greatest defender in the world. But I also think we have to take into account that even if you were the biggest Caitlin Clark hater, if you're actually watching the games, Caitlin Clark's defensive problems are twofold. Like, we've seen plenty of games when she fully locks in on the defensive end that she absolutely can be a defender. Like, she can absolutely be a good defender. Not even just a defender. She can be a good defender. The problem is that she has to exert a lot of energy on offense, and she can't get in foul trouble, especially with the refs calling ticky-tack fouls constantly. Like, Caitlin's got to be in a position where, look, I don't like saying defense is optional, because I don't think that's the right way to go about it either. But I cannot stress enough when I say this, like, it's not quite defense is optional. But if you don't, like, if Caitlin doesn't have to play, if there's ever a stage where you can hide Caitlin, it's your job as a coach to hide Caitlin, in general in the game. But we also know that when Caitlin really locks in, she's the best perimeter defender on this team, outside of Raven Johnson. If you're going to sub on a defensive lineup, sub off Kelsey Mitchell. She can't guard anybody. At all. And Caitlin Clark getting benched in every key defensive moment. And it doesn't work. If this was something that was working, and you could look at this and say, look, see, this works, these defensive lineups work, then you could say, oh, yeah, okay, maybe. Just maybe this makes sense. But no, it doesn't, because they don't work. Because Caitlin Clark is 4 inches taller than Kelsey Mitchell. She's longer than Kelsey Mitchell. She reads the game better than Kelsey Mitchell. She reads the time better than Kelsey Mitchell. She reads the scoreboard better than Kelsey Mitchell. Caitlin Clark committed 2 unbelievably good fouls. Like where she got caught out of position, or people got caught out of position, and she committed 2 great fouls to send Elizabeth Williams to the line. Like when she's locked in, she makes high IQ defensive plays. Like she is an extremely smart defender when she locks in. And again, over the course of a game, is it a problem that we have to use the word when she locks in? Yes. But like that doesn't change the argument that in the last couple of possessions of the game, Caitlin Clark is one of your best defenders. She's one of your best defenders. And no matter what Stephanie White wants to say, no matter what the public wants to say, you conceded 7. You subbed Caitlin Clark off for 3 defensive possessions yesterday. Sorry, 4. 4. One of them, the Chicago Sky just threw the ball out of bounds. Like, they didn't even attempt to do anything. But you conceded 7 points. You conceded 7 points in 4 possessions, which is terrible. And this is not an uncommon thing. It's not uncommon that you foul every single time. Not only that, she subbed off Maisha Hines-Allen, who is statistically their best defender. The 2 best defenders on this team statistically are Maisha Hines-Allen and Caitlin Clark. And both of them are being pulled for defensive reasons while the team continues to concede every single possession. They're up 3 and they give up a 3. Like, Caitlin would have fouled. Steph being like, oh, we worked on these late game situations. They should have known to foul. You better believe that's one thing Caitlin would have known to foul. Her actual game sense is really good. But it's a case of Steph White just not trusting Caitlin Clark at all. Does not trust Caitlin at all on the defensive end. I don't even think she really trusts Caitlin Clark on the offensive end. Like, when it all comes down to it, I don't think she wants Caitlin to make these decisions. I think she wants to run Caitlin as a decoy because, again, and that's not, it's a Steph White. Caitlin's a risk taker. You cannot, like, you have a risk-taking player with a risk-averse coach. It is what it is. It is what it is. Like, a risk-averse coach is never going to fully trust a risk-taker. Like, that, it is what it is in basketball. And neither part, like, the defensive thing, Steph White is just enough evidence will tell you she's wrong. But in general, we're watching this time after time after time where it's so fucking clear that it's not going to work out. Like, they can say what they want. I have no doubt they like each other as people. I'm not saying there's no I don't think there's sabotage. I think that's all bullshit. But we can be real here. This is a risk taker with a risk-averse coach. There is no trust. There is not going to be trust there. And the only way Caitlin's going to gain Stephanie White's trust is by doing shit that she doesn't want to do. Is by, like, passing up shots that she wants to take, or not making a read that she feels is open. That's the only way you're going to gain trust of a risk-averse coach, and that's not a smart way to go about things. It's just not. But anyway, yeah, it is an interesting one looking at the dynamics here. And I'm going to be honest, in any other sport, in any other league, like, if Spoelstra was like, I want LeBron to be a post-up big. He's 6'9". He's built like Karl Malone. I want him to be a pick and roll player like Karl Malone. Spoelstra would have been fired. And Spoelstra one of the greatest ever. Like, in any other scenario, if a coach was actively fighting against what their star player does, there would be talk of them being fired, or there would be talk of them trading the star player. Like, there'd be talk of trading the star player. Everyone's like, oh, we need to stop these rumors. No, these rumors are from basketball people being like, most of these rumors are starting from NBA people being like, well, yeah, duh. The coach and the player don't fit. One of them has to go. Like, we're watching a team struggle to beat tanking teams despite having 3 of the 3 fucking all WNBA players. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I'll see you guys.